DDS. From the DDS studios, we are your hosts, Blake Upton and Bradley Newberry. And from the man cave, it is Matthew Two-Tone Blue Parker. Parker, we're on the wrong damn side of the screen. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, Big D.
He's got that Big D energy going on tonight.
Yeah, baby.
That's awesome. Guys, appreciate you joining us tonight for another amazing episode of DDS Sports Talk. We got a lot to talk about tonight. NFL teams are starting to make some cuts. There are trade rumors for the number one pick in the draft. Preds updates. We got some baseball talk. Newberry, how you doing tonight?
Just fantastic. I just got back from a little track practice.
There you go.
You know, us playing sports. We love to run.
Yeah. No, I'd pull a hammer
Parker,
for sure.
did you ever run just for fun?
I ran suicides yesterday, fellas. I'm not even joking.
Whoa.
I pulled my left calf.
There we go. Well, I think I pulled something just here and that, but guys, really appreciate you being here. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button there on YouTube. Share this with all your friends. Give us a follow in Rumble on Rumble. Check us out on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at DDS Sports Talk. You can download the audio versions of all these podcasts on your favorite podcasting platform. Newberry, what's first?
We are going to go take a little trip around the NFL. Let me set the stage for Parker here. Parker, out of the darkness, back into the light. Aaron Rodgers has emerged from his darkness retreat. What do we think? What is he thinking right now in this moment?
I don't know what he's thinking. I just know that this guy has somehow held the league hostage for 3 consecutive summers. And you'd think a guy that went through exactly what he went through 15 years ago wouldn't have thought, you know what? That's exactly how to handle it. I just want to be Brett Favre all over again. He's coming back. There's 60 million reasons why. I mean, it's just going to happen. Don't kid me like you're trying to figure this out in some dark room in a cave somewhere.
I mean, so
60 million reasons.
Yeah, well, with Brady gone, like it's the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes right now, right?
I'll tell you what, man. You say Brady's gone.
I was about to say the same thing.
Parker, Lord, what kind of can of worms did I just open?
We had an entire podcast built around it's finally done. He's retired, but
is it though?
I think Parker saw the same thing. Maybe I did. What did you see?
Pro Football Talk Mike Florio speculates Tom Brady could ditch retirement for the 49ers.
Whoa, there it is. Oh, my gosh. Golly, man.
But do you
believe
you
this.
know why this is happening? So I'm going to tell you why this is being brought back up again. Brock Purdy's surgery has been delayed. So it's going to take longer now to get over this. There is absolutely no confidence in the Trey Lance thing. I mean, have you heard anything, Parker, more out of Trey Lance, or is he just the afterthought now?
I mean, I don't care if either one of them are healthy. If you can have freaking Tom Brady in that offense, you take it. I don't care what's back there, right? Like we saw him last year. Yeah, the team was declining, but the dude still threw for more pass attempts than anybody in NFL history. He still has a freaking arm. So Purdy or not, Trey Lance or not, Jimmy G or not, Derek Carr or not, if Tom Brady comes knocking, you answer the door.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we are talking about
we were
this
supposed
right
to be
now.
talking about Aaron Rodgers. Sorry.
I mean, I know, but I mean, so and you know, by the way, that this is absolutely wearing Aaron Rodgers out right now, because this is, I mean, he loves the attention, right? Almost as much as Tom Brady loves the attention, right? But yeah, I can't disagree. If Tom Brady comes knocking, I mean, you don't say no. I mean, it's like if Tiger Woods says he wants to enter your golf tournament, you're saying yes. So, oh man. But let's get back on track here. Let's get back on track. Aaron Rodgers.
Did he figure anything out while sitting in complete darkness?
Y'all need to check out the short I put out today. Y'all need to check it out. I'll just y'all go to our YouTube channel, check it out today. What kind of comment was that in the beginning of the short? I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what that means. Y'all tell me down in the comments. But anyways, who's do you think maybe on this little quest or whatever he went on that maybe he found out where he wants to go or who's going to be interested in him?
No, I think he's just planning his next talkathon with Pat McAfee.
Yo, I think he just went and got really high for 4 days.
Sounds about right.
I really think that's what happened. And now he's like, all right, do I go to the Jets or the Raiders?
Did we ever think that whenever he first came into the league that he would end up being the hippie guy that he is right now? Because that's kind of what everybody kind of perceives him as now.
We didn't even know if he was going to ever step on the field with Brett Favre slinging it.
Well, and I mean, it brings up an interesting point because, Parker just mentioned, this is exactly kind of how Brett Favre went out and holding the entire NFL hostage. But I guess that's what you do whenever you're, an elite level quarterback.
Yeah, and maybe I just have more of an affinity for Favre back in the day. Maybe not lately, but back in the day, I felt like he was retired. And remember, they were like flying to him and begging him.
Right.
This even feels worse.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I'm hearing Jets. I'm hearing, oh God.
Just do the full Brett Favre and do Jets.
No, I mean,
that's what I'm begging.
That's what I'm thinking. But is he going to be like, no, Brett did that, I'm not going to do that shit? Or is he going to be like, I'm going to Nashville? I've heard that too.
He's going to say, Brett did it, I'm going to do it better.
That's exactly. I'm with Brett on this one. I mean, like, that's how crazy this guy is. Like, yep. I want to follow. Oh, guess where I'm going after that? Vikings, baby. Sign me up.
Oh my God.
As soon as they get rid of Cousins, I'm going to be there waiting. I'm going to swing it on top of the Packers.
I think y'all might be onto something. As crazy as it sounds, he just wants to be better than Brett Favre in every aspect. So he's just going to follow his footsteps and trample on him the whole way.
Oh, he may be next door neighbors after he retires.
Absolutely,
I can farm better than you. Damn it.
Oh me.
But that's some of the Aaron Rodgers story. Now it's been a lot of movement here at hometown.
Yeah.
Headquarters here in Nashville, Tennessee. The Titans making moves. You called out 4 notable ones just yesterday.
Yeah, if you didn't see the short that we put out, be sure to go and check that out. But I mean, it was an absolute bloodbath.
But it had to be, man. It had to happen, Parker. This is not a surprise.
No, in fact, I think if you probably go back to the preseason of last year, we told you that this was the last year for these guys. I mean, it just was obvious the way that their contracts went. I mean, you can just sit there and look at it, and it's going to be absolutely obvious. And I even think they might have kept Lawan, but if you notice when they kept him with a failed physical diagnosis that his knee still isn't even ready to go now. Mm-hmm. So I think that this was all coming. We could have guessed that. Now, I also believe that we've still got one more big name to fall, and that's going to be Bud Dupree. I think we hear that in about 3 weeks.
Ooh, you think it's going to be that long, huh?
So Taylor Lewan, I mean, that's a big name for the locals here. It's a sore spot because we saw what the offensive line was or wasn't last year, and it's tough to see a Tennessee Titan. Do I say great?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Tennessee Titan.
Why not?
One of their better players of all time.
He's an iconic player for the Titans. Maybe not necessarily all for what he does on the field, but he kind of has a cult following here in Nashville. But you can't. I mean, you look at these 4 guys that. I mean, what did they free up? Like something like $40 million in cap space. Maybe more than that. Actually, I can't remember the exact math, but it was something crazy. Had to be done. Does this show?
I got it. 37.9 million.
There you go. And there's more to come, like Parker said. I'm interested to hear Parker's take on, does this tip what Rand Carthen is thinking about the future for the Titans? Is this him saying, all right, we're going to go get Tanny some weapons? Or is this him saying, look out, Tannehill might be next?
I think it's looking to the future. I think it doesn't matter if it's Rand, me, you, John Robinson, these guys were gone, because none of these guys that have been cut loose, we're just looking for the future at these positions in my mind. Cunningham, where's he going to go that's going to impact us? Nowhere. Where's Lawan going to go that's going to impact us? Nowhere. Where's Fat Randy going to go that's impact us? Nowhere. Where's obviously now washed up Bobby Trees going to go that's going to impact us? Nowhere. So they're all cuts that had to be made. It's not like we're cutting freaking Kevin Byard out here, right? Like, these are people that are not going to impact us moving forward. So I think these guys had no spot on this team next year, no matter who was it. There's a whole different thing of what it could be for Tanny if that's a whole different ball of wax we could get into. But I just think that this purely was on the future of these players and that their future wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, well, you mentioned his name. Robert Woods put out this little tweet here that he's free.
Free at last. They finally let me go. Like it was so bad here in Tennessee.
Yeah, like
you
he
were
had
the
it
one
so
that was bad, sir.
You know, I mean, like he held the Titans hostage. Held them hostage for $14 million.
I don't have the stats in front of me. I'm going to look this up when I get a chance, but I'm tell you right now, yeah, I loved Bobby Trees. He was always one of my favorite guys in fantasy. He always fell late. You always got him. But that tweet was so unnecessary. Sometimes when you sit back and you tweet out something like that as a player, why? What does that get you? All that does is another locker room looking at that tweet going, man, do we really want that guy in here? Like, what's the point of that?
You're right. And I mean, what it does for Titans fans is it looks like, okay, that was the right move to get rid of him. I mean, now that's the lasting impression that they have for him.
What it 100% did to me is when he got cut, I texted my wife and said, hey, I want to go grab one of his jerseys. It's going to be on sale. It'll be fun. I've always liked him. It'll be fun just to have an old jersey. That tweet came out. I did not go get that jersey.
Yeah. No. Here's Mr. Bobby Tree's stats. 50 receptions, 527 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He did not get – we're talking about free. Like, he hadn't been free all year, right? That's the joke on this. Like, he didn't get any separation. No. Maybe next year he'll be better because these ACLs, as y'all know, it's usually a 2-year injury for full healthy. So maybe he bounces back.
I predicted that he's just not fast anymore. I mean, we knew he was coming off the injury, but it's more of a possession receiver.
Yeah.
I think even when he's healthy, I just never – I respected what he did, like the production he had before he was injured, but
was he never really? Is that what you're saying?
Really thought of him as the burner, man.
No, I don't think he ever was. I think it's probably a fair assessment to call him a possession receiver. But I think, to be fair, I don't think that they went and got him thinking that he was going to be number one initially.
No, it was supposed to be AJ.
Yeah, I mean, and then that whole fiasco started. We don't want to go down that road again.
I don't think possession receivers a knock, right? Like people use stuff like that or use game managers as far as quarterbacks. And I think people make those terms in their head that they're negative. I don't think they are. I think possession's a good way of
I would have loved to have had a good possession receiver this last year.
I think you had one in Austin Hooper.
Damn right.
You just didn't use him until way too late.
That's what I'm saying. He was underutilized, and then we had Kyle Phillips, who I mean,
where did he go?
I thought maybe he would be kind of guys too.
Yeah,
he never sniffed the field after he dropped a couple or muffed a couple punts.
But I love the emergence of Chig.
Yeah.
Love the emergence of Chig.
Yeah, there's definitely something there, but I do agree with Parker. I think this is a investment in the future. I think they're going to ride Tanny this year. I just, maybe I don't know what we're about to go to here. There's a lot of talks about draft and everything and positioning and trading. And I just think that the best move is to stick with Tanny right now.
Yeah. The people that are cut Tanny, trade for Aaron Rodgers, I just don't think understand the salary cap and reach out. We're more than happy that I'll do a whole episode on it. It just doesn't make sense. If the Titans cut Tannehill, they have to find a quarterback that costs less than $18 million a year for it to even make mathematical sense.
Thank you.
That's right. It doesn't make sense. The only way to get rid of Tannehill is to trade him. Guess what? That whole report about they'll take on the contract, the Titans would still have to pay $18 million in any scenario that happens. It doesn't matter. We can go all down that road, but yeah, it mathematically makes the most sense. By the way, guys, with Lawan being cut, I believe the longest tenured Titan is now Ben Jones, who may retire this year.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, hey.
It seems like Byard should be getting up there.
He's probably getting close.
One year, Byard and Henry would tie for next, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trusting what Rand Carthen is doing right now. Look, he's trying to make a name for himself too in a positive way. I don't think he's going to be afraid to make hard decisions. And I think these first wave of cuts have been evident of that. And I would love to see them go ahead and send Daly to the XFL and go ahead and get that over with too.
I agreed with Parker. I think so far, so good. We're driving in the middle of the road here.
Mm-hmm.
Parker said that any of the three of us, my daughter, anyone could have made these moves because these moves had to happen.
Yeah, they did.
I haven't seen a tough decision yet, but so far, so good.
I think that's a fair assessment.
The Tannehill thing, it says releasing or trading him with a pre-June 1st designation would create $17.8 billion. But it doesn't make sense. If you can't
find anybody for cheaper than that.
If you can't replace the production, it makes no.
Well, and he
sense.
has a track record of when he has tools around him, he can be a productive quarterback. But is he that guy that's going to get over the hump in the playoffs? I mean, that's a whole nother discussion.
There's only one quarterback in the league that can produce without weapons around them. I mean, we could have this discussion on Josh Allen. Was he getting good till Stephon Diggs got there? No,
Nope.
He wasn't. Herbert last year when his two weapons were out, was he any good? No. All these guys, we go down the list through every single quarterback, and if they don't have a guy or two guys or really three guys, Joe Burrow, if he doesn't have his three wide receivers on the field, he is not the same quarterback. There's only one that does it, fellas. And
Patrick Mahomes?
That's it. Other than that, you just got to have weapons, man. You got to have them.
Yeah, totally agree.
I don't disagree. I mean, it's and speaking of Patrick and Mahomes, did that team really miss the cheetah? Oh, Tyreek Hill down in South Beach.
I mean, I think there's a Lombardi trophy in Kansas City that's saying no. I mean, look, sure, you'd love to have them, right? I mean, to say that they didn't miss them, I mean, yeah, it probably would have made things a little bit easier, but they got that offensive system. They got Kelsey. They got Mahomes. They have I think they've really stumbled onto something with Pacheco. And that is going to round out that offense that in a way that I think is going to be, it's kind of freaking scary, quite honestly.
I'll tell you something to make you sick about this. I was doing a lot of salary cap stuff today, and the salary cap is $225 million. And there's something called dead money, which money you've already spent. It goes towards that $225 million that you can't spend. Like the Titans have, I think, $16 million, and there's all these things. The team that has the least amount of that dead money taking up their $225 million, the Kansas City Chiefs, at only $98,000.
Oh, jeez.
Well, look at this. Another thing that I stumbled upon today, ESPN's Jeff Darlington speculates that the Bills could be a perfect landing spot for Titans running back Derrick Henry. I didn't even know this was a possibility. Parker, tell me more. What is this?
All right, maybe I should have told y'all we should have led with this, but I will tell you right now, I'm not saying this is happening, but they are aware of whispers in this building right now. I can guarantee you there are people in there whispering about it and overhearing things. I had a conversation with someone today, and we've broke some news on here before, fellas. So I'm just telling you, there is a real thing happening in that building. This is not just an absolute nonsense thing. Again, not saying it's happening, not saying it's not happening, but there is noise to this.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? If we see Derrick Henry on the Bills of all you have Derrick Henry monster trucking to the right, Josh Allen monster trucking to the left, and they don't even do any of those, and you throw it over the top to.
I don't even want to talk about this. This is just making me sick to my stomach just thinking about it. And the fact that Matthew Two-Tone Blue Parker, the Titans super fan, is sitting here saying that this is not absent amongst folks, either in Buffalo or Tennessee. Man, that is sombering news. And hey man, I'm all for investing in the future, but I still think there's some tread on those tires with Derrick Henry here in Tennessee.
I will say this, if you see the Derrick Henry news come out, get ready to see the Tannehill news come out.
Oh, it's got to be. It's wholesale at that point.
Yeah, it's moving on for the future if that happens. I mean, they'd both go. You start to get into the question on how would you move him, because he has a monster of a salary. So how much do you get? What would you get for him? It's almost like that's a whole different discussion. So that would be the toughest part about moving him is his salary. And I don't, and do you want to? As a Titans fan, I don't want to move him, but like at some point, he's going to be, it's a running back. He's an old running back with like 1,600 carries. Once you hit that 1,500 mark, you're pretty much down the hill after that. And the Titans, as bad as we could talk about some of the draft classes they have, the Titans have done one thing really, really well over the last decade, and that is got out from players before they're just absolute garbage. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I mean, I just for real just think that Derrick Henry's different. I don't know why. I mean, look, he had 1,500 rushing yards last year, and everybody knew he was going to run the damn ball.
Behind that offensive
they knew
line.
that we could not throw the ball, and he was still running for 1,500 yards. And I just look, I get the stats, and it's undeniable what you're saying, Parker. This guy feels different, but I don't know if that's a good enough reason. I don't know when you pull the string on him,
I'm with you. I don't want to see. I'm wearing a Derrick Henry shirt. I don't want to see him go anywhere. But this guy has got so much clout in this organization. This is where you go to Derrick. There's only a few players I think in the NFL that have this. Tannehill doesn't have this. This is where you go to Derrick and say, "Look, we're rebuilding. Do you want to be a part of this, or do you want to go somewhere to win a ring?" Like you give him that option. This is a guy that has earned that. It's a Travis Kelce type discussion.
Totally.
That's what we're talking.
Totally.
Well, just keep Miami in mind because I don't know exactly if Tua's coming back with their quarterback carousel down there. Keep Miami in mind with the Aaron Rodgers, the Derek Carrs of the world. My God, if Ryan Tannehill goes back to Miami, what if?
Oh, good Lord. That would be awful.
We're moving on to Baltimore. And the question was posed. How should the Ravens handle the Lamar Jackson franchise tag situation? It's got to happen, I think, right?
Has to. I don't understand what's the big holdup. Could someone explain to me what the big holdup is here?
It's Lamar.
I mean, am I understanding correctly that he is representing himself in all this? Is that what's holding everything up?
No, I'll tell you what's holding it up is the worst person in the NFL, and that is Deshaun Watson. Lamar sits back and says, that guy, that sexual predator, who you called a sexual predator, got $230 million guaranteed. I have won the MVP, have done nothing bad off the field, and I can't get better than the 20th best quarterback in the league. Like, that is what's holding it up. This contract. This is the line in the road that we talked about when this happened. Like, what owner is going to step up and say, look, that was a one-time thing. The Haslam screwed up everything. Will the other 31 owners say, look, guys, you can't give out these contracts because we just can't afford them? That's the guy that's holding it up right there.
And a power bomb through the team.
I mean, good Lord. I mean, you got to be on your toes. I got to be on my toes over here with these buttons.
I swear, man, he's right. The Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson have effed this all up. It doesn't help that Lamar is representing himself, I don't think.
Oh.
But,
Well, I mean, I don't know how I feel about the whole thing. I think it's kind of silly that it hasn't been taken care of already. I mean, you don't let a guy like that get out there on the market, right? You gotta get him taken care of. But I mean, at some point you have to be reasonable and, as an organization. But I mean, really, what is Baltimore going to do? Go out and draft some more studs like they always do?
I mean, they're going to tag him. The question is, do they tag him, come up with a deal, or tag him and trade him? If you asked me, fellas, at the beginning of this week, I would have led 70-30. He's a Raven. And now I'm starting to think 40-60. He's not a Raven, and maybe he's a Falcon. I don't know. This is getting ugly.
Starting to look real, huh? Starting to look real. Lamar.
The beauty of the NFL. Keep us guessing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's the NBA now.
What else? I mean, we've been all around the league, man. We've talked about,
almost the whole way around.
We even went to San Fran for a second.
Yep. Well, we didn't. You saw the title up here. Let's talk about this Bears number one pick.
We will in a minute, or should I say in a 2 minute?
Yeah,
because we're about to upload our 2 minute takes And we will. I will just go ahead and begin with that one.
Yep,
if you
just
want
go
to,
for it.
since we're talking NFL. The question is, do the Chicago Bears keep it and draft, or do they trade, Parker?
I think that they trade the pick and they keep on the Fields, but you're open to both sides. I trade Fields only if the offer is right. That it all depends on what the offer is. That is it. That is purely it.
I mean, so this, I mean, good Lord, what a trash organization. So they're going to just uproot everything. You think it's possible that they get rid of Fields, they move stadiums, and they just, I mean, totally uproot everything in this organization and go in this particular draft class, and they think they're going to find somebody that's going to change the organization. Do you think that's really possible?
No.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. What they're thinking in this,
they should definitely trade out to get your defensive linemen and get as many draft picks as you can. Go.
Yeah, trade down to 4, get Carter or whoever's down there for your I just blanked on the other name. Their defense, right? But the thing about this is we talked about the most important thing is having a generational type quarterback, right? There's only one thing that is better than having a quarterback on a long-term deal that's really good. That's a rookie deal. That's a quarterback on a rookie deal, and they have used 2 of those years on Fields. So the argument is, hey, we can go restart this clock with a new quarterback and still be on this rookie deal for an extra 2 years.
So they're just kind of kicking the can down the road. Is that what we're saying here? They could be.
Maybe. I think they trade the pick, keep Fields, and get as many.
I personally, that's what I do. I mean, that's what I think too. I mean, I just don't think this is a sexy year for a number 1.
But I did mention that I saw an article earlier this week. Justin Fields wants a dome. He is tired of the Chicago weather. And Blake said, Chicago's getting tired of you.
Yeah. Don't worry. They don't like you either.
Jeez. He needs to be reunited with Urban Meyer.
That's right. That's right.
Coach Meyer.
All right. What's next?
We're going to go to the Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And we got news out of California. Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei.
He ain't signing a long-term deal. The Angels organization is paying bukus of boatloads of money to other people, including one Parker Anthony Rendon.
Gentlemen,
we're talking pre-show. I mean, they are handing out buckets of cash in baseball.
Gentlemen, I know Ohtani pitches, he hits, he makes more money than I'll ever know. Blake, take it away.
No, he signed that 1 year thing.
Yeah, this guy, he avoided arbitration, signed a 1 year, $30 million deal. The guy, to say he's generational, I think is not an understatement at all. You may be underselling it, quite honestly. You got a guy that throws 97, 98.
He'll play DH in the same game.
And he can drop 40, 50 bombs potentially in a year. And he's not what you would call a pure power hitter that can only hit for power, that's going to strike out, 200 times a year. He's a good hitter. The question is, though, where do you draw the line with these guys? In my mind, I mean, I'm with you. I don't know where the money comes from with these organizations, but it seems to me that, this guy is worth a lot of money, but I'm not sure that he's worth the kind of money that he's looking for.
You don't. I think the money from the LA Angels of Anaheim comes from Disney, a lot of it. And
has to.
They have big contracts in Anthony Rendon, Mike Trout. Gosh, they paid Albert Pujols through the roof too, and he was aging player from St. Louis.
Yeah. They paid him just so he could, put butts in the seats and break the records and everything there. So,
but we haven't seen anything like this since like a Babe Ruth-ish player. A guy that can pitch effectively and hit the crap out of a baseball.
Yeah,
this is reminding me of Little League here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah, it's the
best player is your pitcher.
Yeah, well, is what it is. But yeah, Shohei, something to keep your eye on there. Baseball's just getting fired up. New rule changes. I don't know. We're going to see, man. It's going to be a different look to baseball this year.
Parker's going to be betting on it. Prop bets.
Oh, yeah, that's me, Mr. Baseball. I'm all in.
Okay, so if you're not Mr. Baseball, let's try our hand at some hockey. The NHL.
You see the background back here. You see the background.
The Nashville Predators are in the news. Our little local hockey team. They're probably going to miss the playoffs. And one of their centermen just got gashed. He's out for 12 weeks after having surgery, getting that leg repaired.
Yeah, it's been an up and down season this year, it seems like, for this team. And just there's kind of a lot of uncertainty because they may make the playoffs, but it's not real likely. No. It doesn't sound like. David Poyle is kind of beating around the bush. He's kind of waiting to see if do they actually make the playoffs, or is he going to just start fire selling everything here over the next few weeks? It should be interesting, man. What do you think, Parker?
Yeah, the interesting thing is they're 7 points out of that last playoff spot right now. But if y'all remember in 2017 when they made that Stanley Cup run and got to the finals there, they were that last seed that year. Hockey is notorious for any seed can win this thing. We got, as Bradley was saying, Ryan Johansson's out 12 weeks, so he's done. He's done for the year unless the Preds make that deep playoff run. They're also without their top scorer in Philip Forsberg, who's been out for about 2 weeks now. The trade deadline is that March 3rd date. We've got 4 games until then, fellas. If we lose those games, just like you said, they're probably going to start selling at that point and not be buyers here at the trade deadline, which makes sense.
And don't they have to win all 4? Am I wrong on that?
I don't know that they have to win all 4. I mean,
think they have to win at least the majority of them, I think.
Yeah, if they win 3 of the 4, they're probably still rolling with that. But if they don't, they're going to. I mean, they're going to be selling this team off.
Where the fans have to be careful is it really a bad thing that they have been consistently making the playoffs? I mean, I know you want a title, but to get there, you might have to take 3 steps back. I don't think Poyle has ever wanted to just completely blow it up.
I know, man, but I didn't even, whenever Parker said that, I didn't realize it's been that long. 2017? Wow.
But consistently in the playoffs, they're a good team.
I get it. But, I know David Poyle wants a cup before he ends his career.
I'm just saying, I've never seen him trade away the farm to go for the cup.
Yeah, well.
He's not young.
Well, I know that. But, there's also the question of, is this the right coach? That's a whole nother freaking show in and of itself. We'll have to keep our eye on this situation as the trade deadline approaches.
And you mentioned the fans. You meant the fans. I mean, you can't. You're right. You got to be happy with the playoffs. If y'all don't remember, this Preds team started out pretty bad, but over the last 10 seasons, they've been in the playoffs 8 of those 10.
Yeah. Shout out to UC Saros, man. He had big shoes, big skates to fill.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I
with Pekka.
Look, if there's anything that this fan base has showed you, that they will follow you. If you put the goods on the ice, they'll show up. I think right now everybody's a little bit pissed off at them because of the way things are going. If it's going to be interesting to see if they make the playoffs, do the fans turn back around and support them again? Because right now I know that it is a little bit of tough sledding for them.
What do you think about these 2-minute segments? Do they go too fast for you?
No, they're great. In fact, the Ohtani one with me not participating whatsoever, I was able to add on to a second final thought.
Fantastic. He's got 2 final thoughts. Well, all right.
Let's fire it up.
Fantastic. Guys, we really appreciate you being here for another episode of DDS Sports Talk. We really, really appreciate it if you would just share this video with all of your friends. Tell them all about this show. Hit that like and subscribe button down below. Give us a follow and a Rumble on Rumble. Check us out on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And you can download all the audio versions of these podcasts on the go on your favorite podcasting platform. Newberry, it is once again your favorite final thoughts.
We'll get Parker's. Let's go. He's got 2. I've only got 1.
I know it, man. We got to hear these.
All right. So I got thinking about it when you were mentioning Fields not wanting to play play at Chicago because the weather stunk. I wanted to look it up, and if you look, they actually didn't play in freezing temperatures until late December. So maybe it's just like a thing that's still on his mind because their last 3 games were at 19, 8, and 31 degrees. But before those games, didn't play in anything under 37 degrees. But my actual final thought is, fellas, if you haven't watched it, Blake, I know you've started it. Go watch full swing on Netflix. It is freaking incredible. If you like Hard Knocks, this is times 10. I mean, they have a version of it coming out with NFL here this summer, and I'm going to be all in. But this full swing thing, it is the best sports documentary outside of The Last Dance I've ever seen.
Totally agree. I cannot recommend it enough. Dewberry over here, he hadn't seen the first episode yet.
No.
Yeah, man, we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to fix that.
I can turn it on.
Okay.
I mean, late night,
you will love it. I'm telling
you,
you see a different side of these golfers.
I'm going to turn it on while I'm playing my NHL hockey.
Oh,
I'm an online gamer at night for all of you guys.
Yeah, I would say you could probably you don't have to be watching every single thing. You can listen to it and kind of get the point of it.
It's real. It's not, you can tell these shows are fabricated sometimes. And this one, I don't believe
it's raw. I would call it
raw.
Wait.
What system are you using over there on the old interwebs?
What's that?
I said, what system are you using to play your late night hockey on?
Mine's the PlayStation 4.
Little shout out to PlayStation.
Not a PlayStation 5.
We're looking for sponsors, PlayStation. Come on. Let's get that.
I'm waiting for these royalty checks to come in so I can get a 5.
That's right.
Or we just win a golf tournament.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Parker can fire at some pins.
Yeah, I haven't swung
7 years ago.
Almost a year.
7 years ago.
It's going to hurt a little bit, but we'll see.
I haven't hit a ball outside in 3 years.
Jeez, yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, I'm going to try this on for size here. U.S. women's national team won a victory 2-1 over Brazil, and the headline caught my eyes. Alex Morgan with a game winner. She is the highest scoring mom in United States women's national team history. Shout out to the women. They're 5-0.
Absolutely. Did they play that at Geodis? I can't remember. Anyways, they played maybe a qualifying game or something here lately in Nashville. It was pretty awesome. But my final thought, and I am sorry to report, the Tennessee men's basketball team, ever since they beat the number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide, they have lost 4 of the last 6. They continue to be, as Parker calls them, the Iowa of college basketball. They have an amazing defense, but my God, they go cold more than any team I've ever seen in my life. Not looking great right now for the Tennessee Vols heading into March. They're just trying to hang on at this point, and I'm not even really sure what their fate is moving forward, to be honest with you. But we'll have to keep everybody posted on that.
A baby shout out to Vandy.
Yeah. Coach Stack, man, he's out there making stuff happen. Apparently, all of a sudden, Vanderbilt men's basketball is a real thing right now, and hats off to him.
Stackhouse reached out to Parker. I mean, can Parker talk to him again from the DDS?
Let's tell everybody about this. But last year, Jerry Stackhouse,
it wasn't even a personal.
He blocked us last year.
On, Jerry.
Yeah, for a simple question, Jer. Like, you're losing, you can't handle it, you block us, and you start winning, and you unblock us. What? I don't know what's up with that. What happens if they go on a 3-game skid here against somebody? Maybe we get blocked again.
Hey, he can come on the show. We'll be happy to have a conversation with him about it. I've got plenty of stuff I can ask him.
Jerry,
let's go, Jerry. Come see us at DDS Sports Talk. Guys, appreciate you being here. As always, it is Two Tone Blue all the way. You guys be well.